It could only have been one of you, as this room was clean when I left and no one else was here." Mom, visibly annoyed at being caught by logic. "Fine, but if she did do it, then so what? You had it coming by not being nicer to her anyway." Then stormed off. I called my dad again and left another message on his work answering machine about what happened. Then I went to my sister's room and told her I knew she was the one who tore up my room. And before she could even try to answer me, I stated she couldn't get to my money anymore because I'd locked it away in a safe. That made her throw an absolute tantrum. And of course evil Mama Bear came running to her rescue. But I just repeated that sis couldn't get at my money anymore and went back to my room to clean it up while my sister kept screaming in her room for like the next 20 minutes. Nothing was really missing or broken, just thrown and scattered around. I picked everything up and put it back the way it was. Admittedly, it was the smuggest I'd ever felt cleaning my room. But the next day I found it tore up again. And this time my window was broken as well. Sis had hurled the safe out the window because she couldn't get it open. I called my father right away, and when both my parents got home from work, my sister fully admitted to having done it like she was proud of herself. My mother actually tried to side with her by saying I shouldn't have gotten the safe in the first place. But my dad chewed her out and said he got it for me because he was sick and tired of my sister stealing from me. Every time she stole money from me and spent it, my dad had to reimburse me since my mom never would. We had to have the whole window from my room replaced, and my dad got me a lock for my door, and even a combination key lockbox that contained the key to my room next to the door. My sister ended up grounded for a month for breaking my window, and she spent that whole time just sulking in her room whenever Dad was home. Mom always let her go back to doing what she wanted, like playing video games or watching TV and stuff, till my dad got off work. I didn't bother to say anything because I knew if I did, both my sister and my mom would have gone out of their way to make me more miserable. After her month-long grounding was over, my sister resorted to begging me for money every time she spent all of her allowance. But I just called her out that she'd never pay it back because she never saves anything. And just to be funny, I drew up an IOU to see if she'd actually sign it in front of Dad later. She tore the paper in half and went crying to Mom again about how I was being mean to her, and Mom would try to make me cough up the money for her. But I just reminded her what Dad would do, so if my sister wanted any more cash, it wasn't going to come from me. After this, my mom actually tried to get me sent to military school, but Dad didn't let her. Also, for those wondering why my dad just didn't help me get a savings account back then, I really don't know. I guess saving it in cash was just how we did things. Shortly after my dad gave me a safe for my money, he also got me a deadbolt lock for my door with a wall-mounted lockbox that required a code to get the key because my sister threw my safe through my bedroom window. We installed the lock and lockbox together while my mom and sister weren't home. When my sister first walked by my room after coming back, I saw her look at the lock and then go running to get Mom. They both came storming up the stairs to be greeted by my dad and I.